No way. Way? Her evasiveness... Oh my god. Her evasiveness when asked about her future, that awkwardness that had steadily grown between us, that uncharacteristic outburst of anger, oh god. All of them suddenly fit into place. You're Watson, I'm still Sherlock. The same family that she reminisced about after Hanako's birthday party. The same family that left her and Akira to themselves after taking flight to greener pasture. Now I feel stupid for never cornering Lilly on what was bugging her. I never even considered if something had happened during her trip to her family's home in Venice. I did say something! And now a sense of unease grows in my chest. If her family has summoned her, hate that word, here to join them in Scotland, all the way on the other side of the earth, has she accepted? Lilly hasn't told me whether she plans to accept, and it seems she hasn't told you either. That's why I called you down here to talk it out. Context, huh? I sit back, my feelings of worry and frustration no doubt written all over my face. Lily's a strong person herself, but she's not infallible, probably. I guess it's my job to worry about her, being her older sister, but I think that you deserve to know. I understand. You okay? You sound depressed. I'm depressed in the real world. No, I'm never depressed. I just have a depressing voice. No, I'm just thinking. That's good. Thinking is good. Being rash won't get you anywhere. We need a clear head here now. She looks at her watch, barely moving her wrist. I've got to go. Will you be okay? I'll be fine, don't worry. I'll have to talk to Lilly about it and get everything sorted out. Oh god, we're about to activate a war here? She gives a smile, but it doesn't feel all that genuine or sincere. Really, both of us are dancing around the fact that Lily's on the precipice of the biggest decision of her life and is trying to take the entire burden on herself. And part of that burden is the matter of our relationship. Oh, good God. By the time I look up, Akira's already walking off with her hand held high. Good girl. For the first time in a long while, I finally have an answer to something. Perhaps not even that, but at least I now have the right question to ask. Woman, why have you been lying? Will you leave or stay? Katawa? Oh, God! This is about... Bombshells are about to go off. Your feelings are about to be torn. Oh. What an appropriate atmosphere. Hurry, Lilly. I'm moving as fast as I can. I can barely make out Lily's voice over the deafening pounding of the rain. Even though I dislike pulling her around, the situation calls for it. I turn forward, my free hand over my head in a futile attempt to keep at least my hair dry. My vision seems to be in grayscale. This really is rotten weather for summer, and the last kind of climate I'd want for a date. A pity. I even checked the weather forecast beforehand. One of the very few times I'd ever done so. Only for it to say that Sunday afternoon would be fine. Lying twats. Looking to Lilly, her shoulders are now completely drenched, with her right hand holding tightly to mine and her left gripping her retracted cane. This horrid downpour came on just as we were between our destination and Yamaku, so we decided to try rushing the rest of the distance rather than doubling back. Entirely unused to running this fast, Lily's using all her concentration just to avoid tripping over. Isao, do you know where we're going? Even she's reduced to shouting to try and be heard over the combined noise of the wind and the rain. The Shanghai. The rest of my voice is completely drowned out by an even heavier outburst of rain. The what? The Shanghai! How far is it? Well, not that far considering where we are. It shouldn't be far now. Knew it! I was right. It doesn't take long before I call out to her once again. It looks like we're safe. It's just up ahead. I quickly pull up to a stop just in front of the familiar exterior, the lantern outside still giving off its reliable glow, and wait for Lilly to catch her breath before going in. Ladies first. The tiny bell inside rings out when I hold the door open for her, a smile and a polite nod being my reward before entering myself. Why is there happy music? Why are we going into the cornering bit and the attacking? Not attacking. What is your strategy, Watson? As I step in behind her and wipe my feet, only a quick glance is necessary to notice the distinct lack of activity. The Shanghai doesn't seem to get much in the way of patronage, and today is no different. Only a couple of tables are occupied. Summoned by the bells ringing, a most expected person comes to greet us. Yuko! Hello. Welcome to Shanghai. Yuko looks chipper today. Trying to predict her moods is pretty hard, but it's a nice change from the norm. Hello, Yuko. Hey. Good afternoon, you two. And a bow. What the hell is that? She takes a deep bow, somewhat taken aback as she rights herself again and gets a better look at us. What happened to you? You both look... Her eyes drift towards the glass of the door behind us. Oh dear. We're inside now, at least. I think that's the most important thing. It's nice and cozy. You're lucky to be working inside today. It has been nice and quiet. I like days like this. Oh wait, sorry. Is there anything you'd like? French vanilla tea, please. I'll have the same. Oh, finally. Right, coming up. She quickly skitters off with a determined look on her face, trying very hard not to forget our orders. If nothing else, she is at least dedicated to her job. Why is she the only one working here? I lead Lilly to an empty seat before the two of us settle down. As usual, there's a large difference between my exhausted flopping down into my seat and Lily's delicate sliding into hers, a cane set beside her. For a while I just idly watch the rain falling outside. The occasional person runs down the street and go, ha ha, trying to stay as dry as possible, hands often tightly gripping a rain-soaked umbrella. Lily sits as quietly as I, her eyes closed as she intently listens to all that's happening. It's a comfortable, relaxing silence that exists between us, just the type that we'd so often shared together in the past months. For Lily, at least. Oh, here comes the bombshell. I can't help replaying the words of her sister in my mind, at times concentrating them to both our time spent together since I entered Yamaku, and to the way we've been since we started dating. No matter how much I try, I can't work Lily out. It's as if the harder I try to second-guess her emotions and her potential decision, the more difficult it becomes to reach a clear conclusion. That's why you're Watson. It makes me doubt whether I'd ever really understood her. In the end, I'm going to have to ask, even though I very much want to avoid doing so. Just push forward, Sao. Do it! You seem quiet today, Hisao. Really? You seemed so enthusiastic about taking me out on a date. I'd assumed you had something specific you wanted to do. No, not really. Just wanted to spend some time with you. Is that so? Fine. There was one thing. Oh, God, you're about to destroy that grin. A little grin finds its way onto Lily's face, and knowing full well that she's bested me. Right, never mind, it was teasing. But still, we're about to destroy that victory. It makes what I want to say all the more awkward, especially in a public place. It was just... oh my god, it was just... Kieran and I were talking. Oh? What's with that tone? What tone? I can't tell with this. You two do seem to get on well, don't you? Oh! Well, I do think she's a pretty cool person to talk with. It'd be nice if any of the teachers were anything like her. Cool. Oh, you destroyed it without the intention. Oh, God. For a moment I tried to place her tone of voice, my mouth curling into a smirk as I realize it. You're not jealous, are you? Oh! I'm not jealous. Oh, that pouty face. After her teasing me over such a thing on our first date. Did she? No, I remember her teasing you before the first date. I don't feel too bad having a little laugh at her expense this time around. As we settle down, though, it's only a minor distraction from the real point of why I brought Lily here. Don't worry, it was mostly just everyday stuff. That said, there was something Akira mentioned that I wanted to talk to you about. Why have you got to drop the poor girl in it? When you went to see your family in Inverness a while back, she said, Angry Lily is about to come. Oh? Akira told you about my family's summon, hasn't she? Oh! I've had a lot of rage in this arc. Probably because there's been a lot of heart attacks. Seconds tick by while I try to read Lily's face, an odd mixture of feelings written on it. She seems annoyed, but also somewhat confused. At? Oh God. Here. Yuko tentatively slides our drinks onto the table, her presence oddly small. As she walks back to the counter after a quick, polite nod, I realize the air between me and Lily is thick and our expressions are both somewhat pensive. Oh, control your emotions this how, Jesus! Even though she says I should lead my own life, she still interferes at the worst times. What were you planning to do? I don't think you should blame Akira here. She's just looking out for you, and it's not like I can understand her concern over this. I can't understand her concern over this. Lily's irritation gives way to an awkward and largely unsuccessful attempt to mask her feelings. She really doesn't deal well with being concerned on personal topics. I know, but I just wanted some more time. I knew you'd have figured it out eventually, but here's Watson. You were intentionally hiding this from me. For how long were you planning to do so? As I said, I simply wanted more time to think it through. I wanted to be sure of my decision before telling you. What did you decide to do in the end? I know what I wanted to say, but an awful feeling refuses to my gut. My family does dearly want me to return to them, and Akira will be going as well. I could still teach as a career, whether it be here or there. So you're going? How long have you known? I already know you were asked when you first went to Scotland about a month ago. Some time. My frustration very nearly boils over. Control your emotions, laddie. The fact that she's done this affects me more than it should. For her to not only be leaving, but to have been actively hiding her own plans from me, and after seeming for so long to be the one solid pillar of support and reliability I could depend on, it feels as if the foundation underneath me is suddenly shifting drastically, much faster than I can adapt to. Perhaps this isn't so much frustration as sheer unease. Lily, I'm sorry. I just wanted to think this through completely. I wasn't trying to take advantage of you, please. I know, Lily, I know. This is just really sudden. I guess this means that once you go, we'll be breaking up. For one of the few times I've seen since I met her, she's generally lost for words. She doesn't look surprised, no doubt because the fact had dawned on her once she became sure of her decision, but rather she appears generally unsure of how to deal with the situation now that it's in front of her. We could try pursuing a long-distance relationship. They're getting more and more common these days, after all. Well, I know someone that's in a long-distance relationship, actually. But not to, like, the extent that you're saying. Even as she says it, the tone of her voice gives away that she doesn't truly believe what she's saying. Oh, for goodness sake, not this text! I'm making this episode long because it's because of all the feelings that you will feel. I'm a horrid person. Lily is far too old-fashioned to be able to cope with a relationship without any kind of physical presence. True. Oh god, that sounded horrible, but still. And even I am, to an extent. All we would ever be to each other would be a voice from the other side of the world. In the end, trying to rationalize everything is futile. Any attempt to try and connect what's happening... Have I got the bad ending? What's happening with the future or past just seems to get more difficult the more I concentrate. Oh god, what have I done wrong? Oh god, I think my brother did caught me in a trap. Twit! Oh god. Well, I might as well redo it after... well, those quiet moments when we just walked side by side, the precious time we spent with Hanako and Akira, the casual chatter we had during lunchtimes, the times we made love, the confessions of our feelings to each other, all pointless. All just a fleeting moment in young lives. Oh, you have my view. Yes, I think all of it is pointless. No, I haven't been through it, like I've said, but still. But it's how. We're just two children pretending to be adults, aren't we? A long, long silence hangs in the air between us. Oh my god, if some miraculous thing this episode does go like higher than the others usually do, and most of the girls, they'd be like, oh my god. I'd be like, oh no. Oh well. A long, long silence hangs in the air between us. The noise of the other patrons drinking and talking only makes the situation feel more strange and disconnected. Lily's face remains low, her dejected expression clouding it. I'm sorry, Hisao. A simple apology and no more. She's left entirely without any further response or comment. With a long sigh, I gather what's left of my thoughts and ask the final question I have for her. What could you possibly ask now? Oh yes. When will you be going? I'll be living with Akira, so it'll be less than a week. Wow. Last minute thinking I can see. The beginning of the summer holidays. Really? Oh. Just a little afterward, yes. Her tone is unusually slow and steady, her apologetic and depressed mood all the more written to her face as she tries to hide it in her voice. In the end, I can't even keep my promise of going to Tanabata with her before she leaves. Oh god. I looked down, seeing my face reflected in by now lukewarm cup of neglected tea sitting in front of me. I really thought I'd left this kind of expression behind. For a while I just stared down into the still surface, trying to sort through my emotions to try to get at what course of action I should take, whether it be shut up right now or in the future. But just before the effort is wasted. But just as before the effort is wasted. I glance up to see, Jesus, 20 minutes, God, to see Lilly gently sipping her cool tea without complaint, her face drawn and shoulders slumped. She looks to be deep in thought too, a strangely cold atmosphere comes between us as we isolate ourselves to mull things over. Even as Lily's cup slowly empties, mine remains untouched. It's a long time before I notice the rain dying down outside and the few other patrons of the Shanghai having left. I guess I'll leave it off here. See you, people, and enjoy your feels.